second big action we had was in November 2021. For 3 days, we had a congress, an international congress, in which along 3 days we talk about professors at university telling what they were seeing. In fact, today on the chat, I have seen Kathleen Lowry, that was one of the professors talking, Juana Gallego, that is also there from Barcelona. We have 3 main conferences from a professor, Silvia Carrasco, from a teacher from secondary school that was on my behalf. And another one from Alicia Boluda, that is one teacher in Dofenco, that talk about what was happening in families and in kids in the schools. No, in total we had 44 testimonies that were really, really hard to listen to, really hard. How teachers are persecuted, how students are transitioning, how girls don't feel comfortable in toilets, you know, all this that is going on inside. So it is in YouTube, in our channel, in Dofemco, and you can see it with subtitles in English. And we have testimonies from all over the world, from Brazil, Canada, Sweden, the UK, Mexico, Argentina. I mean, we try to have to gather as many testimonies to see that this is international and it is happening everywhere. No. Then last December, on the 16th, Dofenco also went to the Congress in Spain. You know that they have, the Congress has passed the trans law that is going to be like the umbrella for the rest 44 laws we have already functioning here in Spain. And even if we couldn't talk in the plenary session, we weren't allowed. We had a room in which we had an experts conference, so to say, where politicians could go and be there and have some ideas about what is the reality, no? What is really happening. And I think it was also a big success, because even if we couldn't go to the plenary session, at least we could have our, you know, the right to be there. In a democracy, we have the right to go to the Congress to talk, and there we were. So with all this information, we were able to release last November the 3rd, our book that is called Coeducation Hijacked, and the subtitle is Feminist Critique of the Penetration of Transgender Ideas in Education. The prologue writer is Gemma Lienas, that is a radical feminist woman, is also a politician who has as the main aim girls' and women's rights. And she was the one that put us in contact with Octaedro, the publishing house that released the book. And Octaedro, let me tell you, now that we are here, that is number one, is the publishing house is number one in education, and it also publishes it has connections with other publishing houses in English. So we hope that being here 300 women is like a way to show that there is a lot of interest having the book translated into English. And about the authors, I also have to say that even if we are 4 authors from Dofenco, all the data, the research, all our experience is not from the 4 authors. Is about all the experience and the supply of documentary data from all the teachers in Dofenco. Many of them, they cannot put their names, so the ones who gather all the information were we 4, but it is the work of many, many more teachers. About the title, it's a pity, but well, you know that once students could study together, mixed education, we call that a co-education, but once students were in the rooms together, in the classrooms together, at least in Spain, there was a shift, a turn of the term, and we call it coeducation to the feminist agenda, that has coeducation as the pedagogical key, the pedagogical resource to eradicate sexism, androcentrism in the curriculum, sexual stereotypes, and violence on women in schools. Okay, so when we talk about coeducation, we are talking about the feminist agenda to eradicate patriarchy. The problem was that it had a very good reputation, and it has been like emptied of its meaning by trans activists. So now everything that trans activists are included in schools, they call it coeducation. And that's a big problem because we have these transgender ideas at the same time as coeducation is suffering like a big backlash, you know, a big reaction. So it's difficult because they are colliding, so to say. That's why the title is that one. Our main aim was, first of all, to denounce and to put all our knowledge on paper. So to make that denounce, but to try to inform not only gender critical parents that were really wanting our book to be published, but not only parents and teachers and professors that are like the target readers, but also society in general, and also politicians. Okay, also politicians. So the reception is being, I mean, we are really, really happy. It is selling smoothly. But it's true that if you go to a library, any library or bookshop here in Spain, you have to wait 10, 15 days because they tell you that the book is not on the shelves. So they don't want to be boycotted, we understand. So they are they are boycotting the book. So we have a big problem with bookshops here in Spain because they don't want to have our book on the shelves. But we know that it is selling, and even in Amazon, we see lots of really good remarks and commentaries, and well, that's the reception.